Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a comic that I read a few days ago called Lazarus, Volume 1 by Greg Rucka, Michael Lark and Santi Arcas. This is a kind of dystopian story, a science fiction story, and it is set in a futuristic, like, North America, I guess, where there isn't really a central government, but there are just a couple of families that are in power, and you have, like, people that belong to the family, and then there are the serfs that serve the family and are kind of protected by them, and then you have another class of people which are called the waste, and they're not protected by the family, and I don't think they work for the family, so they're also not really taken care of and they're just left to themselves. In this world, every family is protected by a Lazarus, which is a person that has regenerative powers and is very strong and just does all the killing basically for the family. And the main character of this comic is called, what's his name again? Forever, or Eve, as she's sometimes called, and she is the Lazarus for the Carlyle family. Even though she's the one that does all the dirty jobs like killing people, she's definitely the most likable character of this whole comic, and I definitely thought that this first volume did a really great job of really making me care about her, even though I haven't learned that much about her, but I did really like her as a character. The rest of the character, especially the family members, are very much like occupied with scheming and planning behind people's back and going against each other, so there's a lot of like politics involved, which I thought was really interesting. There are a couple of people in this comic that are just really not likable, but there's also, what I really liked, a lot of characters in here that kind of occupy this grey area between good and evil. Like, they sometimes will do good things but also do bad things, which makes them really interesting characters. This first volume is quite short. I think it's only like 100 pages or so, so there isn't a lot of story yet, but because we really get thrown into the story right away, there isn't like a lot of setup that makes it very slow. Even though it's only 100 pages, it feels like already stuff is happening. At least you learn quite a few things about the world, you learn some things about all of the characters, which I really like. And Eve is sometimes questioning if what she's doing for her family is really right, and in this volume we don't really see her acting on that, feeling like maybe this isn't the right way, but there is so much like potential for her character to grow, which I really liked. This first volume mainly revolves around the Carlyle family and how all the family members interact with each other, but we also get introduced to some family members of the Murray family, I think, and they also have a Lazarus who interacts with Eve, which was really fun, and it was very short, but I definitely hope that we'll get to see more of those two together. In this time period there is a lot of scarcity of resources, and that's also a reason that these families are so powerful. They are in charge of the resources, and that's also which causes conflict between the different families. The artwork is quite nice. It's actually much nicer than the cover. I don't really like the cover, but I do like the artwork inside. It's not really like my favourite type of artwork. Usually I like very clean lines and bright colours, and these aren't really clean lines, but that also doesn't really fit with the story, I feel like, because it is sometimes a bit gritty, and the kind of bleak colours do also really fit the story. So far I feel like it's quite difficult to give a good description of what actually happens in this very short first volume without really giving anything away. I feel like we just get a bunch of snippets of storylines that are gonna come together in the next volumes, but I definitely think that if you like dystopian science fiction stories, you should definitely check this out. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. The only thing I could think of that I would have liked to see improved was the length of it. I would have just liked it to be much longer, but it was very enjoyable, really interesting characters, liked the artwork, and the story seems really interesting so far, so definitely recommend this one. If you've also read Lazarus, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!